I'm going to try something a little different. I've done this a little bit, but not very much. I'm recording this to put on Facebook and MeWe. I don't know how long it's going to be. I may have to do several episodes. When I was a kid, I was uh, I was thought that I was a good kid, but I was thought that I was just lazy. I had bad days and I had good days. On the good days, I could go out and I could work with the best of them. Those were far and few between, I'll tell you that. There were people that get mad at me because I couldn't, because I just kind of dragged my feet everywhere I went. It wasn't just family, it was other people that I worked for too. And I didn't mean to do that. I just had no energy. I had no idea why. None. I didn't know why I felt this way. We had heard of this thing called depression, but we didn't know what it was. As far as we were concerned, it was just something for somebody to hide behind that wanted to get out of their responsibilities. Well, how wrong we were. I remember the first time that I ever got tested for this. They was asking me some questions because I was trying to get on disability. They was asking me questions about depression. And I was with this depression doctor that was asking these questions. And after one of them, I stopped. I said, "Doc," she said, "Yes." I said, "Do you mean to tell me?" Because the way the question was worded is, "Have you ever had this? Have you ever experienced this?" And I said, "Do you mean to tell me that if I've had this my whole life, if I've been experiencing this and fighting this and battling this and trying to overcome this my whole life, that means I've been depressed my whole life?" Says, "Well, if all things equal, yes. That's exactly what I'm telling you." Well, I'll tell you what, the lights went on and there was things that all of a sudden from years of wondering what was going on to up till then that all of a sudden everything started coming into focus. I mean, I had been treated for depression. I was on some medication for it. I was doing this. I was doing that. I was even, and when I was in college, I even went to counseling for it. But I still just couldn't come to terms with it. I always felt like I was lagging behind everybody. And yet I go take the test and I'd score exceptionally high. For an old country boy that really didn't know anything, that was pretty impressive. But me, I don't know how much technical knowledge I had back then. Probably not much. Technology then was high for the time being, but it was compared to now it was really low because that was 45 to 50 years ago. I remember when they used to tell us that someday we'd have telephones that you could even that would even be in your wrist that could put in this under the skin in your wrist. Well, the technology is there for that, but this disease, I keep talking about this because I want people to understand that there are those out there that has this that their family don't understand. They just think they're useless and worthless. In today's society, it's a lot less than it used to be. You know, I remember back when I was a kid, you didn't want anybody thinking that you had mental problems. Because if you did, they would just, oh man, he's a mental case. Well, here's the thing is, people, for those of you that don't know, everybody has some sort of mental problems. There are very few and far between that don't. And you should actually pay attention to those who do, because a lot of them have very high IQs. Ronald Reagan dealt with it. Albert Einstein had it. Robin Williams had it. Some of the most brilliant minds of our in our history has had it and dealt with it their whole life. To me, every morning I get up, I have a fight just to get up and become active every day. Every stinking day. I work so hard at trying to be positive, but there are days it pops out that I'm not. I'm having a bad day. What do I do about that? Well, what I got to do about it is to stay away from negative people. As one thing, and to remember that I do have people that love me. There's only been one time I ever thought about ending my life, so I'm not suicidal at this point. Not even close to it. That was after my marriage broke up and I had a nervous breakdown. And I had it all planned out. And then one day I was on the way to work and I came across this spot where I was planning on it. And then I remembered the reaction my kids had when they found out about their mother trying. I couldn't do it. I just want you to know that things you say and do impact people. And that's part of what I'm going to talk about in the next edition. Triggers. And if you don't know what that is, you need to find out. Thank you. I love you.